Graduates, big up on yourself. What's the way someone want to jump on fast? Big up on yourself. I see each and every one of you. Don't forget to like up the live as soon as you come in to mark yourself present on the register. Man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Absolutely. Yeah, man, I had a nice little holiday. I'm still on holiday, by the way, because over here it's 2 weeks off from school. So I still have the rest of this week off to enjoy myself, but I'm using it for spring cleaning. Occasionally we have to go through all of the kitchen cupboard them, clean out everything, wipe down everything, deep clean, do the curtains, the drapes, shampoo the carpets, all of that. So that's my agenda for the rest of the week. And of course, chatting to you, my graduates. First of all, before I get into welcoming everybody into class, let me say thank you to my current members who have paid up for their subscription to the private exclusive lives that I will be holding once a month. Big up on a nice clean self. I now have my 10 to start with. I said I would wait until I had 10 members before I started doing those monthly lives. And I now have achieved that. So I am grateful to my supporters. Thank you so much. You did that quick and fast. So yeah, I appreciate you. And I can't wait to announce the members only live. Of course, anybody else who wishes to join, you are more than welcome. In the meantime, let me big up the people and were there in a class. I saw showing them a face. Cotton full cakes, you've been waiting. I know I'm a little bit late. I'm sorry. Andreen, big up yourself. Dawn, blessed Easter. Absolutely. Blessed Easter Monday, my fellow graduates, and welcome. Born blessed, present, Steph B, big up yourself. Drea, 1969, I see you. Country life, nice. I was watching your ad. Okay. Cotton fold cakes, welcome back, welcome home. Absolutely. It was nice to be away, but actually it's nice to be home as well. Bayesian girl, big up yourself. I see you. Blessed one, I see you. Good morning. Thank you. Gal so nice. Big up yourself. Yvette Sharp. Black P, Sunshine, Stacy McDonald, Phyllis Barrett, good morning, wherever in the world you are. Chanel, big up yourself. Teresa Jack, big up yourself. Tammy T, good morning. Professor Gorgeous Lady, good morning, and indeed, happy Easter. Kathleen Sterling, big up yourself. Vanessa, my sis, big up yourself. Bro Shaka, big up yourself. Charmaine, good morning. Let's live good. Hi all. Big up yourself. Shy Trini. Hi, how you doing, sweetheart? Phyllis Barrett. Big up yourself. Raquel Williamson. Mel Isaacs, thank you very much for the welcome back. Lita Travels, good morning. Hopi Goodas, good morning. Simone Barton Joseph, happy Easter, my darling. Kerry, what's up, my girl? Angela Lewis, big up yourself. And Nadine Stewart, big up yourself. I hope I have not missed anybody else. Oh, Inca, how could I miss you up, my member? Inca, big up yourself. Right, let me show them my face for a little bit before I go to get a massage, right? Still got my tan. Guys, I don't know. Am I the only person who experiences this? When we travel to a hot country, we come back with a lovely glow, a fantastic tan. And within days of coming back to our cold country, the tan start for strip. I mean, I don't want it happen to. Look at my face. I have a nice tan, but I'm starting to strip. Like, seriously, I went and absorbed all that melanin and and now it's going because I'm back in England and it's not that hot over here. It's not as cold as when I left, but it's not as hot. So I'm sure you guys have seen the topic. I advertised it on my Facebook page as overfamiliarization causes contention, because generally that is the theme of everything that we're about to discuss today, okay? The things I have to say may not be popular, so I am warning you, if you do not have an open mind, this class is not for you. I'm trying my best to be as diplomatic as possible, but I think I may ruffle some feathers as usual. But at this point, I think some things have to be said, okay? So like I said, in my original post, we're going to be looking at some of the issues around charity recipients that have been raised in the past week. We're going to look at some of the issues around bloggers that have been raised in the past week. And we're also going to be looking at some of the actions of donors, and, basically trying to really look at this whole thing that people have been saying that some donations are for clout. So hot topic under charity recipients, obviously, is the current student under the radar. I don't know why she's considered to be under the radar, to be honest. I have taken a good look, an objective look across the internet. And I have very rarely come across many videos where this law student has been discussed. But it has been present on a select few. So I really don't understand why it is that people are of the impression that this young lady is being targeted. Correct me if I'm wrong, graduates, but for me, if somebody's being targeted, there has to be essentially a teardown campaign across social media within our diaspora. And I have looked, I've looked at the usual suspects and the unusual suspects. And the few things I've seen have existed on the platforms of the least popular, the least known, and the least listened to. In which case, I'm kind of wondering, why is there this narrative out there that she's being torn down? Now, for those of you who are unaware or who may not necessarily be a part of Planka Shop, because I am conscious that I have got a variety of subscribers, this young lady has a dream to become a lawyer. She is from below the poverty line, struggling ghetto girl with high ambitions. And in the process of her academic life, she actually had a child. She's 21 years old. She's given birth to a son. So she's a young single mother. Now, this has not deterred her from her dreams, her aspirations, her goals. And so in a bid to achieve that, she reached out to 33 times 3, the Planka boss, for assistance from her Good Deeds program to attain these things. This has been successful. She's achieved funding for her first year of law school, and currently is soliciting funds in order to finance her second year and also her upcoming work placement trip to the United States of America, to which she received a visa quite recently and successfully too. So that is more or less the background of this young lady. Now, she has received a lot of, I would say, criticisms, both on her platforms and generally at first, I think in the initial onset. This had to do more or less with how this young lady speaks, and I'm going to say it quite bluntly, that many considered her her diction, her grammar to be quite below par of what they considered an aspiring lawyer to have. Okay, this was one of the main criticisms. I'm not saying there weren't others, but that was the main criticism. Some did this in a very negative, derogatory way, went on her platform, more or less cyberbullied her about it. Others dropped hints that weren't appreciated or did not get, received in the positive intent that it was meant. So this has not stopped Planka Shop from coming together and backing this young lady 100%. They want her to achieve everything that she set out to achieve. And so even if naysayers think that she isn't capable, just based on how she speaks, not based on academic record, just based on how she speaks, then they were going to do it 10 times what's expected, because the naysayers to them are haters. All right. Now I'm going to call the lovely Shanae to the class. All right, so I'm going to call you to the class, Shanae. Young lady, you have got a lot of support, and that will never change, because when Blanketarians commit to doing something, they're going to do it. I believe lots of people out there believe in your dreams, believe in your goals, and they see that you are determined to get there. But I'm going to say this. As a young lady who is an aspiring lawyer, you are only 21. There are certain things that you will need to understand in terms of how social media can be. When it comes to using a public platform in order to advance yourself, public speaking is something that you will have to acquire. I am not saying that you have to do this overnight, but I'm saying that it's something that is a part of the job, part and parcel, depending on what kind of content you're putting out there. Now, obviously, if you're talking about grassroots things, patois is always respected and appreciated. But when it comes to expressing yourself around your academics, speaking about your goals, your aspirations, it is necessary that you've got the right language and the right decorum when it comes to public speaking in order to deliver this, so that you would attract less criticism around that. Now, it is not expected that anybody who has not had the exposure, the proper grounding when it comes to grammar and public speech, to be able to just suddenly get up and do that. And this is why I think that some of the criticisms have been harsh, but they are not unwarranted. In law school, you do not need, at this stage, to be a perfect public speaker. Listen to me carefully. You don't need to, at law school, undergraduate years, to be an exceptional public speaker. The law is the law. It's in black and white. Whatever it is that the law is, it's important for you to be able to understand the law and to represent the law as it is in the books. Therefore, public speaking is put on a backbench for now. It is important that Shanae is able to basically represent the law through her writing. And legal writing is different from legal speaking. So for her undergraduate years, it's really about her knowing the law, understanding the law, and taking in and absorbing all of the information, being able to put it in writing to do her exams. That is number one priority. Once she has that full understanding, that grounding through her undergraduate years, and she moves on to the other two parts of her studies where she passes the bar and all of that, public speaking will become an important element of that. So it doesn't mean you have to have perfect English. We do know that there are attorneys out there who don't speak English, whose English is second language. But there are certain cases where representation of information means that you have to have clarity. There needs to be a profound clarity to ensure that whatever representation you're giving your clients has no vagueness, no gray areas, and that you are saying exactly what you mean. Okay? Emphasis is important. Pitch is important. All of that is important when it comes to persuading a jury. All of this has to do with language, communication, expression. These things come through, yes, learning the English language, we know that, but it also comes through exposure on a business level. Okay? Now, I believe that this trip that you are taking to the United States is a very, very good thing. Excellent. And well done to the other platform that's busy raising funds in order to get her there. Exposure to other English-speaking countries will give you experience when it comes to communication. When you learn to communicate with other people who also speak standard English, you will start to recognize where there are gaps in your own language. And you start to repair them naturally, okay? Because it's not like you don't speak English. You do. So really, it is about understanding that everything comes in time. I do not believe people should take it to heart too much when people speak about that part. Because at the end of the day, we do know that despite coming from the ghetto, despite coming from an environment where English is, is not necessarily standard, it does not necessarily define how you use your grammar and how you pronounce words and how you use your pitch and all of that. It doesn't. There are many people who come straight out of the ghetto who speak very, very good standard of English, a very good standard of English. If this is her weakness, it is something that we should invest in because you're trying to produce a well-rounded graduate that will move on to greater things. So while it is that a lot of people are, busy fighting that fight and chewing their gums and going, oh, don't talk about how she talk, again, I have to talk good, and why not set her up to be the best that she can possibly be? This is what HTK proposes. Now, I believe in investing in people who show me their determination and stick-to-itivity. In other words, I need to see exactly where this goes. However, Shanae, should you make it to the part where public speaking becomes an issue, I will not only part fund English speaking classes for you, but I will use my platform to raise funds to get you sorted so that this is no longer an impediment. That is if time and experience does not fix the issues. Okay? That's what I'm proposing. If it gets to the point where public speaking becomes an impediment and you need to acquire this in order to be the best that you can be, I will not only part fund it, but use my platform to raise the funds to get you on part-time online course, whatever is necessary, so that your public speaking ability is improved. Because I do not believe in setting anyone up without being holistic in approach. Okay? Now, it is really important that we don't mollycoddle people into taking their eyes off of personal development. And I think a lot of people are very tempted to be very, very protective of her without letting her know that, listen, yes, this needs to be sorted. I did listen to one such live last night where it was like, nothing is wrong with how she speaks. I want to get a girl. What do you expect? No, I'm sorry. No. Coming from the ghetto doesn't mean that you have to speak a particular way. It's about gaps in education that need to be plugged. And let us present her holistically to her highest level of achievement and attainment by seeing to it that we also plug that gap. You hear me? But you've got to recognize, Sinead, that sometimes the onus is on you to represent yourself and your needs. There's a lot of strong representation out there on your behalf. You are only 21, and at 21, I know that I made several mistakes along life, but I was already on my own from the age of 19. And at that time, I had to learn how to represent for myself, how to get what I wanted out of life without necessarily having anyone to fight my corner. And at the moment, some people are willing to run in and help, but some people are hesitant. And I think that a lot of people who think that some people are hesitant are thinking that they are haters. And I don't think that's necessarily true. There are many who wish to see her do well, but they want to see more of her fighting her own case, her own battles, and showing that strength of determination independent of Plankatarians, Planka Shop, Planka Boss, and any other platform that may be raising money for her. Hearing it from the horse's mouth will inspire a lot more to come forward because they can hear exactly where she's coming from. Often when I've listened to her on platforms, it's a lot of platform holders doing all the talking and she doing a lot of agreeing. I would like it reversed. I would like it reversed. This is a part of building independence and stepping out into a world which is quite messy. Being able to speak up on your own without being protected shows growth. So I'm not saying that we should back up. I'm not saying that we shouldn't help. Of course, do that. But I would like to hear more of this young lady's voice, independent of the rest of you. After all, she is an adult. She may be a young adult. She may be an inexperienced adult. She may still need guidance, but she has the voice. Now, I listened to 33 times 3's live when that particular issue was raised around back and belly rats. I saw come in the comments, let me on a roll. So I listened to the comments about back and belly rat, and I found it so hilarious when another blogger had no idea who back and belly rat is. Look here now. I laughed till I fool. Why? Look here now. Anybody who knows the history of Planker Shop and is an original Planketarian will know exactly who back and belly rat is. And should not have gotten it confused. It's laughable, really. So yeah, that was funny. But I listened to the live around back and belly rats. And 33 times 3, this is what I'm going to say to you. Okay. We all know the history. Listen, let me tell you something, graduates. Before I was HTK and I was just K Grant, because that's my original Facebook name. I go at it with back and belly rat in the comments, Yeah, man. I did. I went at it with her. I tell her straight, so she too jiggy all over the place with her comments. And I can't trust her. Yeah. I told her. And me used to be very fiery, before me learn to behave myself. Yes. You understand? And what was noticed about back and belly rat was that she was very much in Planker Shop, but she used to be all over the place saying all sorts. And I have got evidence. So back and belly rat, if you feel like you can come out and deny this, don't make me start flinging up screenshots because I've got them. Right? So obviously, eventually, news got to Planker Boss. She realized that this individual who claimed that she was for her was not one that was necessarily for her 100%, that she was saying alternate things on different platforms against her. And that is how the whole kind of history went down. All right. So then I wasn't aware of the fact that she got blocked, but, Planker Boss revealed that. But I'm going to say this 33 times 3. You've got an issue with back and belly rat, right? You genuinely do not trust back and belly rat. You do not believe that back and belly rat meant you well, okay? But what I understood from the communication was that back and belly rat seemed to have a genuine interest in this young lady, that she had donated, that she wanted to meet with her. Now that's a no-no. It is important that there is no over-familiarity between recipients and donors. That is crossing the line. It's a cross of boundaries and should not be facilitated. Regardless of the fact, 33 times 3, she is back and belly rat for you. Listen to my choice of words carefully. Even though she's back and belly rat for you, 33 times 3, it does not make her back and belly rat for the law students. It is important to share history, to show indications of what certain people can be like. But once again, we are mollycoddling recipients into thinking they have to think through platform holders and the sources of their donations. And that does not sit well. You can share the history. You can tell her what this individual was like in your circumstance, but the choice is 100% hers as to whether or not she is interested in facilitating any further donations. I would certainly heavily recommend absolutely no meeting of recipients and donors, point blank period, across the board. Because such things do lead to over-familiarization, over-investment of emotions, high expectations, which when not met, leads to disappointment and terrible fallouts. And I believe that recipients must receive, move on, cut ties, the end. That's me personally. Planker Shop is not really set up like that. There's a lot of over-investing. You keep recipients on for a long period of time. Me know that. No. Once me help you, I may help you for one thing. Me no want to see you again. I saw me stay. That's how I am. I am very different. But I understand that community charities don't work like that. It's very much community focused. And that's why there are such long-standing histories between the Give Back program and often some of the recipients, right? This is how it's been historically. And it's not my job or my interest to change that. But all I'm saying is across the board, no donor should be wanting to link up, meet up, catch up, hitch up, sip tea and chat with any of their recipients. It makes them feel obligated, it blurs boundaries, and it can cause cross-contamination when it comes to communication. You are going to be tempted as the donor to ask questions that's not your business. The recipient is going to be tempted because of obligation and respect to tell you things that really not your business. Now, of course, Back and Belly Rat told her not to tell you because she's aware of the history between yourselves or because maybe she has intentions that are not positive. That in itself is a reason for the student to be wary. The fact that she chose not to tell you means that she took the onus on herself to honor that agreement. Like it or lump it, she's not obligated to tell you. 33 times 3. She's an adult. Hey, Chocolate and Vanilla, big up yourself. She's an adult. So if she chose to tell the other platform, that was her choice. Now, if the other platform chose to tell you without informing her, that's another story altogether, but I won't speak on that because I don't know. I am saying that let us not cross over in terms of our personal issues with our past donors on platforms, with what's happening with one of our recipients as they evolve from a program. Right? Remember, you said no more charity. I'm only going on your words for now. I'm aware 33 times 3 that you are very passionate about your students. You're very protective about them. But I'm going to say exactly why I think you are. I believe that there's an element of guilt. The guilt is that you know that your platform not only attracts lots of people who love and admire your work, but it also attracts a lot of naysayers, cyberbullies, and people who blatantly don't like you. So because of that, anybody who comes on your platform as a recipient is at risk of such exposure. But because these two are particularly young, ambitious, driven, you feel almost obligated to extend that protection of them based on the clapbacks and the criticisms they've faced by the public. So there's an element of guilt. But there's nothing to feel guilty about. At the end of the day, these may be young people, and some of them probably had, especially the young man, had absolutely no understanding of how bad he could get until it got there. And we ended up with a stalker going to his college with our outer herself. But at the end of the day, it is really important to recognize as well that there are other people involved with these young people that's not just Planker Boss. Recognize when you have done your job. You have collected money, you have sent them on their way, you have passed them on to university, and other people are more than willing to take on the mantle to help with other things that are necessary. But what I see you doing is trying to control all the elements in order to keep these recipients safe from harm, criticism, and so on, as though you think that your job is the only job that can do that. Lots of people are interested in protecting them because you have exposed them not just to bad people, but to good people as well. Sometimes, 33 times 3, when I see you getting worked up about things like this, I wonder if you think that you are alone in the fight. You are not alone in the fight. There are so many who are on board, who are willing to assist and to do the work of all the other things that you don't need to look at. Your desire to want to know what the other platform is doing and how much is being done and blah, blah, blah is unnecessary, in my opinion. You have done your job. Blanketarians on your platform have done their job. Therefore, let the other platforms do their job, separate and apart from you. Otherwise, it does give the impression of being a controlling platform holder. I'm not mincing my words. So yes, Shanae, as I was saying to you, sweetheart, sometimes the onus is on you, right? To show your platform exactly all the steps that you have been taking in order to acquire funds separate and apart from other people. Now, I don't know if you are aware. Hold on, guys. I need to get some water. 1 second. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. So I don't know if you are aware about the change of legislation that comes into effect from today. And I have been hearing a lot of talk about collecting funds for tuition, that semester 1 is covered. They're now looking for semester 2 in year 2 to be covered and so on. But I haven't heard a lot of, yes, misunderstood, which is why she should draw her boundaries and say this has nothing to do with me. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to pull up something because I want you guys to see what I'm talking about. Bear with me. Because I've heard a lot of talk about the collections, but I'm not sure if there is an awareness about the legislation change and what's available to her. And where one can help oneself, always try, right? Okay, so hold on. Okay, so there is that. Hold on there. I want to share a screen because I don't want any thinking is coming from my emotes. Okay, here we go. Right. So the Jamaica Information Service shared this article on the 27th of March. Let me just share my screen. Thumbs up if you can see it. In the meantime, let me read some comments. I'm gonna scroll all the way up because boy, I just go out with myself, so I'm not read under the comments them none all. Right. Respectfully, Kate, there is no right language. She's just seen herself. Donations won't stop there. All the haters, she's Jamaican, her own language. Jam Grocery. So are you assuming that because you're Jamaican that you can't have clear articulation, because I'm not going to mince my words when I say her articulation is not clear. It's not. It's not. I don't believe in pretending. Okay. It doesn't mean that she is not capable. It doesn't mean that she's not academically bright. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean she can't become a lawyer. But I'm not going to fool people into going, oh, that's Jamaican, her own language. No, all of us speak patois. What do you mean? All of we chat patois. But even within chatting patois, we have a way of saying things. You understand? They're worrying how much money she gets. Nobody cares about that part. If they're worrying about how much money she gets, that's their business. That's stupidness. It's not their business. As long as we can see her going to university and doing what she's doing, we can't care about those small matters, right? I don't think persons are upset that they speak about it. Constructive criticism are always appreciated. The destructive criticisms are a cause for concerns. Misunderstood. Can I ask what are the destructive criticisms? Because I am honestly saying that I hear people saying, oh, them can't stand the gal and ray, but I have not heard anyone of any significance making any destructive criticism of the young lady. I haven't heard it. I've been looking. And the few people or person that I hear speak it are really not important at all. Literally, like, not important. You know what I'm saying? Like one drop in the ocean that you really shouldn't even have to pay attention to. Definitely head teacher K. I second that and will assist. I think she will improve over time. Absolutely. Now here's the perfect solution. Most public figures do take public speaking classes. Simone Clark Cooper is one such instructor. Excellent, Tammy T. Correct. Right. Lots of us. I mean, I did not do public speaking classes, but what I did do was debates. And debates helped to make me better at communicating publicly. It is not something that is acquired naturally to do so. It's something that comes through experience and training. And I do not believe that we should be pretentious about things and say, oh, no, nothing is wrong with, no, give her the means to step it up several levels. Like, why don't you want her to speak as well as Miss Kitty or better? Why not? Because if we can pay for that, and it's a case of doing a few online classes for public speaking, why shouldn't we do that? So that she's a fully rounded and fully prepared attorney. I don't think we should hold back if we're going to do the thing properly. Right? I agree with you on that. I too would be willing to support that cause, wholehearted behind you. Absolutely. Mediting say you have to creep before you walk. Yes, you do. Absolutely. Which is why I said that we will fund the public speaking sessions at the point where it becomes an impediment. So right now, as a law school student, undergraduate, she does not need public speaking. She needs to learn the law and get her legal writing sorted. Once that is done and it's time for her to pass the bar, it may become an impediment. And at that point, she may want to do that professional development. And why not? Right? Why not? So let me go through. They cannot be trusted and will try to get close to her and cause brawl on social media. But you see, Kathleen, whatever they cause, it can never be factual. If Planka Shop has nothing to hide, there is nothing to fear, right? People are going to talk. No matter what you do, people are going to talk. Right now, Back and Belly Rat, build our YouTube channel. That is our focus. And no, you must never trust anyone with rat in their name. Not at all. Right? But HDK, why she wants to meet up with that young lady, not to tell DMG. Yes, it's a sneaky move. And no meeting up should ever be facilitated. And that's across the board. But what I'm saying is that it is important that we empower this young lady to also think for herself, right? Give her that room because she is an adult. And while guiding is necessary, it is not necessary to make a decision for her. In other words, do not say, do not meet up with this Back and Belly Rat. Say, Back and Belly Rat did this, and this in Planka Shop. She's encouraging you to be duplicitous, to deceive me. I believe you need to use your due diligence and make a wise decision. I cannot tell you what to do. I can only suggest that you avoid. End of story, and put the ball in her court. Right? you never know where these things can go when you say don't do, don't do, don't do, and people have rumbling resentments. We've heard this before. You understand? She probably saying that she is the main reason why they're being bashed and ridiculed. If they had gotten help from other sources, all of this would not be happening. That is exactly the truth. And that's why I'm saying do not feel guilty, because at the end of the day, you did the right thing. You've done everything above board. It's all transparent. Yes, it's going to happen because you know what is attached to your platform and the haters that are out there, but really and truly allow other people to help you, to support. Don't take on the full mantle yourself. I personally think the other platform is using 33 times 3 to fulfill her own personal goal. I personally won't donate my money to anyone in the dark backside. Rowena, Lord Jesus. Lord have mercy, Rowena. Why you anyway, let me go through this, right? Okay, so hold on. This is one thing about the undergraduate fees, the scholarships and living costs at the University of the West Indies at Mona. Faculty of Law, it's got full-time 10,000 US per annum. For but this is for, don't forget, this is for this year. So no doubt it's gonna go up for next year, right? And this is what is expected in terms of payment. Now, the government then said this. Let me change. Let me all right, so let me share this one. Why is this coming out like that? Hold on. There. All right, so take a look at this article here. Let me take my face off so it's not distracting from the article. So this was during the recent budget debate presentation in the House of Representatives recently. The legislation that I want her to be aware of states that come April 1st, 2024, Students' Loan Bureau, SLB applicants will no longer require a guarantor to access tertiary financing. So you don't need a guarantor anymore. That's a big thing, a very, very big thing. Okay. Now, as a result of this, there have been loads of applications going in, and she does need to kind of get in there fast, right? Now, this is about taking onus, being aware of what's out there. Now, I haven't heard anyone anyone coming forward to say that this actual route has been followed through by Student Loans Bureau. Is it that we're saying that we don't want her to have a student loan? Is it that we're saying that we don't want her to incur any debt? You're giving her an easier start. I'm just trying to understand if this particular pathway was followed and abandoned for any particular reason. So as far as I'm aware, the applications are still going in for the following academic year. So Bro Shaka, if she already tried, she should not have received a response as yet. She should not have received a response as yet, because there's still time to apply for the new year. So if it is that she's already tried, what was the response? I'm saying there is a lack of clarity in terms of that communication, of the process, of her applying, of what's required, blah, 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 to give the audience that would be potential donors or current donors an understanding of the fact that she is making those efforts independent of Planketarians, donations, and so on, to show she's helping herself. That is what I'm saying. I'm saying that it would be a good thing to see that kind of approach. So I don't know how she could have already tried under these circumstances when the law only came into course today. It's only as of today. So I'm saying that it's important to take the onus of understanding how different changes are going forward with potential financial options, so that she can take the onus of being independent of other people's assistance because it's a part of adulthood and a part of growth. I am not saying that people cannot assist, cannot contribute, but self-help is a big thing in terms of growth. And this is very new. So at the end of the day, but Drea, you are saying that we're not sure how this will work, but we are also not sure how it won't work, right? I am saying the option is there and awareness and knowledge is all. It is important that as this young lady grows, she's empowered with what is out there for herself. I do not believe in mollycoddling any recipients. If there is an option to do things for yourself, she must pursue it. And if and when is a stuck situation, a can't manage situation, barriers come up and blah, 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 it is even more justified for Planketarians to roll out and spend and donate. You understand? So it's really about recognizing the new law. Usually no communication from Students' Loan Bureau Guard until October, November yearly. So students usually have to pay up monies before starting their first semester, and sometimes they're not approved. Okay, so Iveta, I don't know if you missed what I said earlier, that finances have been collected for the first term of the second year. So she has the money for that. This information is about taking advantage of what she can going forward independently. It does not deter collections, donations, or the works of others. I do not believe in narrowing information. I believe in ensuring that she hears everything. Hold on. Okay? Hold on there. You're not hearing me. Guys, are you hearing me? Me not mute. Something wrong with yours. Okay? So yes, this is a new change. Give her a chance to action it. Exactly. Exactly, Charmaine. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say this is new. So whatever procedures may have taken place before, it will not take account of this new legislation. So I am bringing it to her attention. We must not hesitate to make our recipients independent of donations, because it is a path of growth and adulthood. I am trying to give her her own options, separate and apart from people's pockets. There is nothing wrong with collecting donations, but if she can try for herself, encourage her to try for herself. Yes? All right. Oh, you're hearing loud and clear. So like I said, this is a new legislation. It's just come into place today. So it really is about inquiring about it, going to the student finance, getting information about it, getting the new forms and so on as the time approaches. Collections and donations are carrying on, does not deter anything. Keep doing that. Because as one said, it may not be successful. There may be barriers. There may be red tape. We know that we government not straightforward. But then, doesn't mean that there might not be success. Right? Just think it through. There might be success. Right? So as I said, it really is about ensuring that we develop recipients to become independent of programs and other people's donations. Encouraging them to do so is not a negative thing. It does not mean that people are haters or naysayers if they are encouraging independence. And some people get that very twisted. The moment they hear you say, oh, she can do this on her own, you're bad mind, you want to stop her, block her blessing, this. It's not always about that. It isn't. Like I said, and I say that with my full chest, when it gets to the point where she's ready to do something to improve her public speaking, if it becomes an impediment, I will fund. As a matter of fact, I might fund the majority and use my platform to raise the rest, because we want the full package. Improvement in every triangular format, educationally, personally, professionally. And there is nothing wrong with that approach. Some people will hesitate because they're thinking, oh, I'm not sure if she's going to make it. It doesn't mean that they're haters. Some people have got stereotypes in their head about what a law student is supposed to sound and look like. You think you can break down stereotypes by cussing people? And that's how it works. The only way you can break down stereotypes is to succeed despite the odds. And when you succeed despite the odds, you convince those people who have those stereotypes in their head. Why do you think stereotypes exist? Because they're close to the truth. You hear? They are close to the truth. So let me just see this. Iveta says, I understand what you say. I was just trying to explain how it works as a guarantor for students. Now the new regulations as of the 1st, 2024 is a chance to her and others. Excellent, Evita. Good. I'm glad you understand. Right? It's a chance. Okay, let's get to the other part of the live now, which is about donations for Clout, right? Okay. Rowena, you were the first person to kind of raise this in the chat, so it is along those lines. Now, I have seen those comments here, there, and everywhere, right? That the reason why donations are going through that other platform is because that person is looking for clout from 33 times 3, and it's really about clout for themselves, this. Let me tell you something. And I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible, because those of you graduates who are here from the beginning, you are well aware of the fact that I have taken to tea with this person in the past, because that person passed their place with me, did not know who I was, made certain assumptions, and I had to come down on her like a ton of bricks. I don't have any hard feelings towards the person now. Yeah, I've gotten over that. And just observing in terms of how things are being done, listening to how things are being done, I believe it is genuinely for the best for this student. I believe that if you wish to support the platform, you should. I do not see anything wrong with the mode that it's being done through. I hear various avenues in terms of you can donate directly if you wish, which eliminates the third party. I hear that you can donate directly to the institution. I hear that you can go directly to well, now apparently a GoFundMe is being discussed. So if all of this is happening and there are ways that you can even avoid the person in the dark because you don't feel confident donating to someone you can't see and you don't trust someone you can't see, there is still the option to donate directly to the young lady. So it should not discourage you from wanting to support, even if you don't want to support via that platform. I do completely understand where people are coming from, because if you can't see somebody's face, often it makes it difficult to trust an individual, right? And that's why I think it is important, particularly when handling people's money, that people see who you are. Because should anything go wrong, you should be able to point somebody out in a line of questioning. Not true? Yes? Now, I doubt anything will go wrong, but I can understand the hesitation. And there is nothing wrong with having those doubts. That's sensible. Yes? Now, you just have to go on either good faith or previous donations, other people who have worked with the person in the past and have had no problem, who have donated in the past and saw their money go to where it goes, recommendation, word of mouth, and so on. But a lot of that is not enough for many people when they can't see who you are. Exactly. She's doing a good job. HDK, I truly understand your point, but Shanae is a Planka student, maybe others after her. She's a student. She's a student. I will donate directly to the school. Yes, absolutely. So don't worry about that too much. Think about it. We've had a few donors who have come through Planka Shop, and many people have said, Lord, you're just donating to hear your name called. And, I've always found that line of argument very interesting, because it's like, listen, some people don't have a lot going on in their lives. And a lot of the people who are excessively donating tend to have grown children who have left the house. They're on their own. It's just them own money. And them just looking for something to do with it that is not just about benefiting themselves. So when they hear their name called, it's almost like, I don't know what to call it. We want a word. It's not about looking for clout. It's more about that feeling of satisfaction. I don't know if any of you out there are gardeners like myself. But I love gardening. During the summertime, going into my garden and just doing my garden is one of my big pleasures because you get a buzz. Everything that you put down, you see an instant change in how your garden look. And that instant gratification is something that releases endorphins, okay? It gives you a buzz. So for some of these people who are donating, hearing their names called to say thank you to that person gives them that endorphins release. You better believe it. Because nothing else is doing that, right? So it's not always about me want to donate for clout. Yes, they like to hear their name called. They do. But is it because they want to be closer to plaque gobbers? Not necessarily. It's more about look at how many changes I'm making in people's lives. All right, it is a weird interpretation, but I'm saying not all the time it's about clout. Now, I do know that there was one particular donor who was on that other platform's live last night who took offense to being called a rich lady. I saw the comments, and I thought to myself, my God, I could blatantly see that was a joke. But I understood where that donor was coming from. Mark my words. Everybody gonna say she touches and she up in her feelings and she cause problem, right? But I'm gonna say this lady has clearly learned that over familiarization gets her nowhere. Because every mistake that has been made around that lady is because of becoming too familiar with recipients. Fact. So she never want no familiarity with the platform holder. So when the platform holder referred to her that way, be it by joke or not, she draw a boundary. And a lot of you don't understand what drawing boundaries look like. She's not interested in being referred to by no nickname, by nobody she don't know. Period. She wanted her title, her full name. If you're not going to call her by her full name, don't call her at all. How about that? Me can respect that. It's just like someone want to run out here upon me and say, don't call me no lady with no number, no lady with no alphabet, and no lady with no cheekbone. You drew your boundaries. Yes? You drew your boundaries and said, don't do that. So you guys have to understand that sometimes people are out here helping, but they don't want to get familiar. Because when familiarity takes place, too much familiarity, that's where insults come and liberty come through carelessness. You understand? I stepped away for a while, but I wanted to make the point. I 33 times 3 wants Shanae to be independent, and that's why she kept pushing her to build her YouTube channel, for example. Exactly. And she must invest in that. Now, interesting, know your English grammar. A lot of people were asking in the comments under the Law Students Live, what has happened to your YouTube money? Aren't you being monetized on YouTube? Why isn't this being taken into account? Now, this is the kind of thing where I'm saying take the onus and earn the respect, right? Shanae, people are asking you questions that are very pertinent to your finances, right? Many people can't donate in terms of coming into a Zelle or into a Cash App, right? Or GoFundMe. But how they can support you is they can watch all your videos, watch all your ads, and so on to give you the views that are necessary to up your earnings. It is very good for you to come forward and speak to your platform and say, listen, I am earning from YouTube and this is going towards X, Y, and Z. It's a part of transparency considering that you're also asking for additional funds. Nothing is wrong with that. You don't have to break down penny for penny. No, but you can say what it's allocated to, okay? All of that is just noise in the crowd. Simply can be corrected, yeah. HTK ad was the one first pick her up. Yes, Carmen, she did. She picked her up. She did what she was doing. She raised a considerable amount of funds. I am not saying that she must step away from the lady altogether, the young lady altogether, you know. I'm saying be careful not to overinvest. I'm also saying share the burden. I'm saying there are other trustworthy platforms out there who are willing to work with her. Let them take it on. Because then the diversion of the attention will shift to other places. I'm saying don't try to take on everything like the Messiah because you are not that. That's what I'm saying. Okay? And if there are people out there that can help, let them. Don't be namming up yourself, you know, ready to get Iggy and all of that because people say things. You're going to be doing that forever.
I don't know that.
Oh, wait, Alexa talk about. Why is Alexa talking to me? Let me mute her. Right? Alexa say, I don't know that. Yeah, I understand. You are correct. It's a fulfilling feeling. It is. It is. And it really is about recognizing that some people, they need this fulfillment. And this is how a lot of bloggers end up becoming controlling bloggers. All right, I'm going to shift now. So, we've spoken about the serious matters and all of the, the above board things. And but the things that me not keep a little prep span the mix up, people. Me see what go on, But me not involved in that. But I'm going to say one or two little something. Let me tell you something, platform holders out there, fellow bloggers. We really need to understand that there comes a time where authenticity is more important than creativity. Listen carefully to what I've said. Authenticity is more important than creativity. I've seen some people come out here in all kind of wig and apparel, claiming that they're being creative. But so under-researched, it undermines what they stand for. And really and truly, if you were being authentic and spending more time on that, you would have less time to make silly mistakes. No comment. But I'm talking also about the fact that it doesn't make sense going out there to try to twist the narrative in order to fulfill your purpose. Because then people are going to take away from your authenticity because you are trying to be creative. Content creation without authenticity makes you fraudulent in the art of blogging. It doesn't make sense to build factions, hiring people or recruiting people to do X, Y, and Z on your behalf if you know that your cause is true and pure. If you know what you stand for, you don't need anyone else to do what you need to get done. And if you feel you need anyone else, it should be a matter of people who want to be on your agenda, being drawn to you, or you reaching out to such people, and they should come willingly. Right? Marlon, can I just ask you something? You said it's just alarming to me to see adults going after this child. Okay. How many adults? And she's not a child. Can I just reinforce that? She's 21, legal in every state. So she's not a child. I just want to know how many adults you see. I can see adults doing it, of course. I see adults going after lots of people, not just her. But what I'm saying is that it was far worse with the young man. Far, far worse. With that young man, it was worse by far in comparison to her. And I don't want her thinking that there's a whole bunch of people out there who are against her, because honestly, I have not determined that. I have determined that one or two half-wits or zero-wits are running their mouth without favor, right? And we must not give these people any power because they haven't got any. I'm saying, why make it seem as though she can't hold her head up high because there's somebody who's going to come out and no, these people don't matter. And we really have got to encourage and teach her the power of ignoring, because these people really don't matter. When I say they don't matter, me say them no matter. They don't. They can beat up their gums all they want. Nobody's looking. Yes? It's really about her focusing on the amount of positivity, the amount of encouragement, right? She is a young adult. Well, 21, she's a young adult. I agree. Yes, but no, not a child. So yes, I think it's important that we don't try to create a mountain out of a molehill, is what I'm saying. I think where the young man was concerned, it was a mountain. Yes, it was a mountain. We saw the gunning for. It was persistent and constant. I'm saying that with her, it's not. And that's the truth. So therefore, she can ignore the one or two baga, the one or two mix up, and focus with her eye on the prize. Right now, I suggest anyone who wants to contribute towards her going to America, go over to that other platform and donate. Definitely get her there, right? Get her there. Big great tone, big six. What is Steph? What you say? Right, there's some Alan Ferrand, big great tone, big 50, 60-year-old woman. So why are you guys paying attention to people who are near the throne? Why are you guys paying attention to people who are near the throne? What if you stop it? When some of these cockroaches text at people, it's like Satan. They didn't see. Well, then they can't text it. I see a lot of adults, HDK. What really upset me about this whole saga is the nasty things they say describing her body parts. Then that me I try to tell you to pay attention to too much of these things and not to pay attention. And then the thing is that by us paying attention to these things, she's going to be sensitized to it. I think that as long as it's not on her page, it shouldn't be fed to her. It shouldn't be fed to her. It should not take up any of your time. When 33 times 3 come out, she should not refer. She should just talk about how, like even in that whole thing about back and belly rat did not need to come out, in my opinion. That could have been discussed off air, right? And all that could have been said, and just focus on her greatness and the things that were going on that were wonderful and getting those donations over to the other platform. I'm saying you guys give these people too much power, so they're going to ride on it, right? Ignore them. They don't matter. Them really no matter. You know what I'm saying? Give her exactly positive feedback. That is it. Guide her on her total independence. That is it. Near the throne. HDK, give me your phone. They're not near the throne. Let me know I won't pay attention to people where they're near the throne for. Yes? One time I hear one woman, and she have my name in her mouth and I go out with herself. And when me see her, all in teeth drop out. And me say, my God, me not even a look because I was taught to respect my elders, so me not look. Me not looking. Huh? She need to go make it right with God. This is important to me right now, right? So I'm saying, you guys, we really have to see what's important here. What we're doing in Planka Shop with these students is a revolutionary thing. I may not have contributed thus far to the lawyer, but I certainly did with the accountants. And I plan to with the lawyer should she come in the direction I want to see her come into. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say to you people is that sometimes when people are giving feedback, constructive criticism, it's not about hatred. It's not about holding back or blocking blessings. Sometimes it's about creating that full holistic package of development so that she can represent your dollars 100% well. Yes, because you're investing in a woman's future. So you want to see her do that to the best of her ability. A lot of politicians, a lot of people in high-standing parts of society have taken public speaking classes. That is not a bad thing, right? So let's not shut that off from her and make it look like it's not possible to achieve. Right now, she needs to focus on learning the law. Undergraduate is not about no public speaking. Then she needs to go do her American placement, get as much money as she can from that towards her tuition. Right? And then it's about coming back and hopefully taking advantage of this new legislation so that she can stand on her own 2 feet. Yes, this is what we'd like to see because independence is growth. Making use of her YouTube channel, show her journey, and so on. I will continue to support until then and watch all the ads and make sure she gets her money. I'm sure I'm not alone. You understand? Yes? Let me see somebody comments now. HGK, you have a point. Hence, they would never get my views. I'm so protective of my space. If people would stop watch them, they would have no platform for their filthy acts. Exactly. Don't you know who fi bang at that? Large. Yeah, later tell little brat, I'll wrap up now and I'll finish. My first sergeant used to say, if it don't apply to you, let it roll off your back and drive on. That is it. True K, I like gardening too. Right now, I plant some calla. It's a joy looking at them growing. I'm telling you, the HDK, tell a young lady to go back road and go sell for go university. Just make you one. Ah, Jesus. Oh, there's something that them say it is what it is. What a foolishness. Listen, They will say that because that's where their standards are. Remember. So you can't pay such nonsense any mind. That's their standards. As a matter of fact, the fact that the person said that should make you laugh because that is what they would do and that is what they would encourage their own children to do. Yes? But she's not doing that, and that is what is important. We must not give these people power. We must stifle their wind and don't give them any voice. Ignore them and work on the good path, the pushing of this young lady to get to where she needs to get to. Yes? Anything that can be done to create what she wants to create with the right presentation. Yes, it must be done. Because as long as she have the mindset and the determination, she will get the help. And them can't stop that. You understand? She's very independent, lost her job due to conflict with school hours. She's doing a great job in managing lifetime and school. She's trying her best. So pray for her, give her mental, emotional support. Amen. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'ma go. I've said everything I have to say. Big up on a nice, clean self, right? And, you know, as I said, don't let those people out there stop or deter you guys from doing what you're doing. Yes. But, you know, recognize that even though some may hesitate, it does not mean they won't come on board at a later date. Sometimes it's about seeing how the river flows before people decide to jump in, right? All right. Big up on a nice, clean self. Like up the live on your way out. And thank you so much for attending class today. It's good to be back. Bye-bye.